Another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call. We're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casually.
Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
It has happened where people just haven't noticed and they've run out of time. I'm like, sounds good. Oh, overcooked it a bit. Jeez.
Clean! Keep going, EP! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going!
Minus 1,000 flash will win Apres Curl.
Oh, they're really sweeping this, boys.
They're
really sweeping this. Oh boy, you can't give up a steal here.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, nice shot from Kate.
But here we go, it's happening.
Yeah, draw for the win for Rylan Kleider. Needs a piece of the forefoot. He's been really good all game. Trevor Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yet for line ever.
No, they like line. Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Rylan Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
A long day, a job well done, and the final work call. We're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casually.
Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
and when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Isabel Verano.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome back inside the Silent Ice Center here in Nisku, Alberta, home of the second stop of the Grand Slam of Curling. This 2024-2025 season, the Co-op Canadian Open. It is moving day here at the Canadian Open as we have two teams looking to clinch a playoff spot this morning in Team Carrie Einarson and Team Eunjung Kim. John Cullen with you once again, and pleased to be joined by former national team coach, current coach of Team Jacobs, Paul Webster. Thank you so much for being here, Paul.
Yeah, thanks, John. Super excited to be here and watch this game with you this morning.
I think it's going to be a good one. As I said off the top, 2-1 records for both of these teams, so a loss does not necessarily eliminate them from the playoff picture, but a win would certainly clinch a playoff spot for both of these teams. So an important game for both of them. And Paul, you've been watching this ice surface all week. I know that you've actually had some games on Sheet D. What can you kind of tell the fans, the viewers, about what's going on out here with the ice so far?
The guys done a great job with the ice, so Mark Shirk and John Wall. This sheet was, we were on this sheet actually earlier against Team Schuster. Pretty good game for us. I think we found it pretty balanced on both sides. There might be a one straighter side coming home. Interesting thing with the rocks here is that yellow has won about 90% of the games on the sheet between the ladies and the men's draw. You know, watching those rocks are some, but Einarson got choice, so they would have chosen those yellow rocks. And Team Kim's going to have to figure out how to win with those red ones, just like Team Kui did last night.
Yeah, it's. I know, obviously, you know, I think a lot of curling fans know that the curlers care a lot about the rocks and, you know, what they're doing and trying to match stones. But is that something you're also paying attention to? Is a colors winning percentage on a sheet?
You want to pay attention, but you also want to see who's winning. So if all the higher ranked teams are winning, but they're just choosing yellow, sometimes you get caught up in the superstitions about the rocks too. So even the good sets that are winning have one or two rocks that you got to pay attention to. And that's really up to the players in pre-game practice to figure out if they feel like their rocks are matched, and then trusting their instincts as you go ahead. So I don't think the Reds are that bad. Mowat's team picked them earlier, so they felt that they were a good set. So I think today, for example, Schwaller's at 1 point or 1 spot up above us, so we won't get choice of rock. So we won with yellow on sheet D earlier this event, and then we're going to have to figure out how to win with red today.
So we get our first look here at Joanne Courtney filling in for Shannon Burchard in this event for Team Carrie Einarson. Shannon still nursing a knee injury, so Joe filled in last week at the Saville Grand Prix and did a pretty nice job. They won that event, beating Sung-Yun Ha in the final there, and we also know they won the last slam, the Tour Challenge. So for the last two events for Carrie Einarson are 2 victories, which, you know, that's a good gig if you can get it. And I guess your team kind of looking to do the same thing here, coming off a win in Penticton.
Yeah, the boys played well last week in Penticton, so it was a great first win of the season for them. Going back to Joanne Courtney, what a great pickup as a spare. Right? So we talk about the depth of curling in Canada. How about the depth of spares right now for Team Einarson?
No kidding, eh?
You know, knock on Dawn Askin's door, bring her out of retirement with her gold medal and a few world championships, and then you go grab Joanne Courtney, who arguably was, you know, is and was one of the world's best sweepers, and she's just sitting at home waiting to play and available a little bit. I'm not sure she's coming back full time, but it's been fun to watch her back in the game, and it looks like she's picking up right where she left off.
Yeah, she told us on the Broom Brothers podcast that not looking to make a full-time return, but did say, you know, she still loves to get the competitive juices flowing now and again, and whomst among us doesn't love to do that. And so, yeah, she said a full-time return to the game, not likely, but does like the opportunity to spare. And when you get an opportunity to spare in a slam too, right? You know, often I think, Paul, when you get that call to spare, it's, hey, you want to come to this far-flung city and fill in for our team this weekend? And you go, I don't know. But for Joanne, it's a slam in her backyard in the beautiful Silent Ice Center. I feel like that's a pretty easy call to pick up.
And to those listening at home, when John says often when you get that call to spare, we don't.
No, you and not. I don't mean you and I. That's more of the royal we or the royal you in that situation. Yes.
But honestly, Team Einarson, what an opportunity. I mean, Shannon Bouchard's a world-class second, and when she's playing well, so you can't replace her. But the opportunity for a team that's been together for a while to get a few different players into lineup, not something you want to plan for, but definitely can add some different energy and some thought processes that your team, not that you get complacent, but you get your way of doing things, and now you have a fresh set of eyes that can maybe reinvigorate this team as they look to get back to the Olympic trials, but also get to the Olympics.
Yeah, no question. So Team Kim starting this end with the hammer and is now lying one, and it's looking like a pretty decent setup here for Team Kim, Paul.
Yeah, they've got some good rocks here. Joe's got to make this one. I mean, getting to the nose of this one, you got to really watch the side yellow, but she might have to just sacrifice that one. And don't worry about the jam.
Val's going to come take a look here.
It's hard. Like, you could hit it this way and get it that way.
Like, I'm wondering if might still touch the 7.
Yeah.
Can we get our... try to just jam it?
Do we ever do this?
Yeah, if we could ever nudge the 4. It's a little scary. Do we just blast it on the nose and get what we can? At least pushes the 4 behind the T line.
I think blaster on the nose, all of ours go, and they probably, there's only one red in there.
Yeah, ideally we get it over the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like they don't love any of the options here, Paul.
Yeah, it's interesting, listening into one of the world's best back ends, the rock place, and what they're concerned about right now is just those 2 top reds. The yellows and the reds in the back are probably going to be gone soon. To really like this draw in terms of it's not really a gamble, but they go around the center so much. These draws to the top 8-foot, top 4-foot should be made. So this is a great call, and a little bit of a gamble, but if they put this on that red, Team Kim's going to have to deal with it pretty quickly.
So you heard Joe say out of her hand she thought this was max weight. We'll see if that holds true here. Sweeting and Karwacki on this for line. This looks like it's slowing down a bit here. So maybe just a fresh path. I don't know. Like I said, Joe thought out of her hand that was heavy, and that comes about 4 feet light.
Yeah, Joe's going to want that one back. So again, pro side miss there. You could have bumped that a foot, even 2 feet, and had some really good rock placement. Now it almost ends up as a guard on that red.
It's okay. Swap something here.
Team Kim's going to end up calling the nose hit on this yellow. Just need to get there. Here we go. I think they're going for the one on the top, on the side 4-foot there.
That's what it looks like, yeah. I'd be maybe a little wary of the jam.
Yeah, again, like we talked about ice conditions, this shot to nose, you have to throw this well. You can't overthrow it, but the curl and the finish on this ice has been really good.
So Cho-Hee Kim is going to try to get to the inside of this yellow stone. They're indicating the weight also a little down on this one. Can they keep it straight? Kyung-Hae Kim trying to get it by this yellow stone, but it won't. And that's a missed opportunity there for Team Kim.
We talk all the time, when you get a miss out of the other team, following up with a miss is just a huge opportunity lost. That, just trying to stick that dagger in, I think we're going to see.
I thought the same thing if I can't hit it.
Same thing. Like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Team Sweden's going to end up just throwing the draw too.
Been a couple here.
Yeah. 14.
I'm seeing us to pinch more. Mine curled in practice.
So they do have options here. Freezing that top red is perfect. But again, if it's staying a little wide, they can just fully freeze or corner freeze their yellow as well.
So opportunity here for Val Sweeting to atone for the missed shot from Joanne Courtney. They're indicating this is heavy.
Going for the chip onto the back one now and trying to freeze it if they can.
They tried to call the audible there. It is still Team Kim lying 1.
Team Kim lying 1, but they're going to have to deal with that one yellow that was just thrown. The back one's going to be gone in a few shots. But ended up not in a bad spot for Team Einarson there. But they're going to play a little bit of weight here and try to get that red over as well. Really out of character for Team Einarson, you know, getting those back-to-back shots. You know, Joe missing one is one thing, but following up with a different type of miss. So, you know, that information needs to be shared and utilized.
So hit and roll here for Kyung-Ae Kim.
Hoping to get in a little bit and then just, they don't want to freeze on top of the ribs. They don't move it over just a bit. Really good shot.
Yeah, that looks quite good, and that's starting to feel like maybe a little bit of a lonely lemon there in the back forefoot.
We're looking at the intern, just short runner here. If Val can stick it on that red that was just played and almost freezing on top of that red one's going to put Team Kim a little bit of hurt too. But again, we got to make this one.
Kristen Karwacki on this one quite quickly. Got to get by that top one. They do. Now do they have the right line? Ooh, I don't know that was the desired result.
No, it was not, Dylan.
Just fraction there.
This is starting to get a little scary here, I think, if you're Team Einarson without the hammer.
Just a little too thick. You know, if they're sweeping right out of the hand, you know, new spot, freshest ice in the first end is definitely down the middle. Everyone's trying to figure out how to get to the button in pregame practice, so there's sometimes a little extra curl there, but those teams know that. So Team Kim looking to come in here. They get right to that back yellow. They might just be telling Team Einarson's team what to play next.
So a chance to lie a few if you can move this yellow here. But again, leaning on this one right out of the hand is Son-Young Kim. They got by the top one. Now do they have enough to move that yellow? Wow, that's a good shot. There is some options here, though, for Team Einarson.
They do. I don't mind the shot, but it definitely gives Carey's team a few options. You know, sometimes in the chase for a big end, 3 or 4, you end up giving up that opportunity to score 2, and 2 is huge to start the game here. But again, Einarson team needs to make both of these next shots. If she's playing the freeze, if it's not perfectly frozen, there could be a easy yellow double there too.
I mean, if you nudged this, that's good. But, okay.
Carey opting for the in-turn hit and roll here. She's trying to get into the button and get it lost underneath those.
Yeah, you like this call? You said she had a few options.
Yeah,
I assume you could freeze here.
This is taking out a possible counter, but it's also... You know, if you look at those yellow guards now, if she gets it fully under that red, there's not going to be many options for Kim other than to run back a yellow onto a red and hopefully get score of 2 or 3.
So first rock in the first end for Carey Einarson. They've been chasing it for most of this. We'll see if they can find a way to turn the tide here.
Might listen to Carey here.
Joe trying to bring it over. And they get a roll, but it does come up a little short. Still Team Kim lying 2 here. And I think that rolled to a spot where you can't get in off it again either, Paul. So this is now getting a little dangerous.
As Johnny Moe might say, they're in a little bit danger bay here. So Team Kim here now looking at the freeze. I don't mind the bump back on that yellow. I mean, if they freeze here, they're lying 3. So 3-ender to start the game. You're going to win almost 98% of those games. The only one that, Carey might have to run that yellow on the top 12-foot back and just hope. But, a number of misses here from Team Einarson, just back to back to back to back.
Yeah, they really haven't found a full shot, maybe a couple half misses that have kept them in this end. But yeah, they have not found the escape valve, and that might be closing rapidly here if Eunjung Kim can make this shot, whether it's a freeze or a small tap. They'd be lying 3, and Carey Einarson would be in a lot of trouble. So big shot here for the team from Gangneung, South Korea.
Anywhere in the 4-foot. Second, third shot, as long as they're lying 3, they're in a good position here.
They're indicating it's a little bit light here. Sunyoung Kim trying to drag this. They're by the guard, but are they by the top red? Wow. How's that for touch? What a sweep from Sunyoung Kim. Small bump, and Team Kim is lying 3. And man, there's not a lot of joy here for Carey Einarson.
Well, that's she couldn't have taken it down there and put it in a better spot. Really good spot.
I tried planted in here.
Yeah, if you planted on the 8, even if you caught it here, that's pretty good.
Team Kim currently lying 3.
Too thick, is it? It's probably not great.
No.
Can I draw here?
You could draw there, yeah.
Can
force
she?
To 3.
To 2. How does she get 3?
Well, yeah, it's your third shot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess your shot over this guy.
Do I draw here?
Yeah. I like that.
I think so. If I don't make that, then they're freaking hitting for a bundle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing, Paul. I think with the way these are queued up, there's maybe like a hit for 5 or 6, depending if Carey doesn't make this good.
So you just heard Carey there. She's got to be really careful. You want to get rid of some reds, but sometimes the easiest way to get rid of them is just to put a yellow in there that they can't get out. So she's looking to freeze up to the one that's just on the button. And this has got to be perfect. A little too high side, and there's going to be a hit for them. If she ever chaps off the top one, that's also danger bay. There's be a possible open draw for 4. A big shot here for Carey Einarson.
Last rock here for Carey Einarson, and end number 1 needs to make a potential end saver here, maybe even a game saver for that matter.
They're calling back 8.
It's not where they want it.
Not chap off here.
Oh boy.
13-5.
So this will be a draw for 4 for Eunjung Kim, and it's almost an unmissable draw too, Paul. You got a huge pocket there to draw to. You see this on the replay here for Carrie Einarson, just a little bit heavy. You heard Joe say, I don't know how to make this not tick off. I don't know how to make this any good.
Yeah, I mean, those draws coming in there, just heavy right now. It's not, you got 2 really good sweepers, and probably 4 or 5 feet heavy out of the hand, if not 6 or 8.
So final stone for Eunjung Kim, already lying 3 and looking to add a 4th. Needs to find full 4-foot.
Val's already cleaned up the rocks. Great shot.
No mistake made from Eunjung Kim, so quite a few mistakes made for Carrie Einarson in that end, and Eunjung Kim makes them pay. 4 on the board. We'll see if Carrie can find her way back into it after this.
Last drop.
Yep.
8-10.
Yep.
Welcome back, curling fans. A tough first end for Carrie Einarson. Just could not find her way out of a pile of trouble. Eunjung Kim puts 4 on the board, and Paul, I'm not going to lie, you were showing me a very troubling statistic during the break if you're a fan of Team Carrie Einarson.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about just the importance of hammer to start the game. So what the people at home don't see is before this game, they're drawn for hammer. Team Kim won that draw off by covering the pin, and you know, when you start a 8-end game in women's professional play right now, you get about a 57% chance just by getting hammer of winning that game. So let's call it a 20% difference just to make math easy. Once they, you know, if they score 2, it goes up to about 80. Well, when they scored 4, it goes up to about 92% winning percentage here. So pretty clear route for Team Einarson now, just to. They need to get 2 points back here. They don't need to go crazy, but they need to get back in this game, and they need to get a few steals along the way. And we saw yesterday, this is not unheralded, like we saw yesterday, I think it was Team Gim against Team Laws.
It was, yes, Team Gim, and that was our feature game. I was on the call for that.
Yeah, so there was a blank even to start, and then they stole 4.
Yep.
So Team Laws is up 4-0, and then Team Gim just kept putting the pressure on, and a bunch of steals. I think they shook after 7 ends.
Team Laws never scored again. Yeah, they went up 4-0 and ended up losing 8-4. So yeah, it's certainly not impossible. But yeah, as you said, Paul, I'm not a math expert, but I do believe 92% to be a pretty high number.
It's really high.
Over the years, I have learned at least that much. So yeah, we'll see if Team Einarson can find their way back in. And like you said, Paul, that is kind of exactly what Eunji Gim had done yesterday against Team Laws. It was sort of the chip away. They started with a 3, and then they just kind of kept stealing and working their way back in. And I'm sure that's what Team Einarson will want to do here. Like you said, when it happens this early, you don't have to blow your brains out trying to get them all back, but you have to get them back at some point. So we'll see what they can do here. They get 1 corner guard up and then 1 into the house, which does indicate they're not really blowing their brains out. You might have seen 2 corners here potentially.
Yeah, I don't mind the call. I mean, they need guards. I agree with you. One of the plays could have been 2 corners, but Kristen Karwicki setting it up. It's a great start by both leads. And now Team Kim's going to try to chase this one. But play still around the corner, which is what Einarson's team's going to want. And they just need to make 8 shots in a row. They made 2 in a row last end at the lead rocks, and then a bunch of half shots and misses to finish, and only gave up 4.
So the chase called here for Choi Kim. Coming around that yellow guard. Carey's already out to sweep it, so you know that's a crashed rock when that happens. But that's a fortuitous bounce.
That is accidentally perfect, and Carey's going to be wondering what she did to deserve that. But again, pro side miss. Didn't flash the rock in the house. They could have ticked that corner and did. Really good weight choice by Team Kim there, so you know they do get that ability. But changes directions pretty quickly for Team Einarson to try to deal with these reds and get the play back to the corner.
Easy.
So trying to hit and roll to a corner here, but this looks like it's over curling. So trying to call the audible and maybe jiggle these reds around, but they will only get rid of one of them. So it is still Team Kim lying 2 without the hammer here. And I think it's about to be 3.
And she doesn't have to stick around on this one. Just an over curl out of Joe's hands there. So they were looking to hit and roll over to the corner to bring play over there, but pretty simple shot now for Team Kim. Not a bad thing if they just peel this out.
And indeed, it is a peel out, so Team Kim still lying 2.
Yeah, I think so. Be close. 11.
Either that or we just lose.
Second down, my time, okay? I think we make sure we score.
I like that. What? The same shot.
Yeah, Einarson's team wasn't looking to play runbacks on the center.
No.
To start this thing, but
Certainly not.
You think about it, Kristen Karwicki made her 2 and just 1 miss out of Joe, and the entire end has changed. But that importance of those front ends setting up the end is so huge. Looking to get to the nose here.
And unfortunately, we'll just hit that a little bit on the high side, and so it's going to take a few more shots now for Team Einarson to get back into this, and we're actually going to see a peel here. You a little surprised by this, Paul?
Not at all.
No?
Easy. Their strategy is easy now. Make the yellows go away and get rid of any offensive options. So getting rid of this guard is great. Carey's going to have a question whether she just wants to blank this one now. Her only offensive option, really, she could throw another guard coming up, or maybe even in-turn draw around those reds and see if she can generate something there.
Okay, we'll see what she decides to do here.
So a little tap. She's still trying to go for the offense here, but they don't want to be forced. So you'll see one sort of offensive option here by Val, and then at some point Carey's just going to have to bail and try to keep hammer. We're talking about percentages. Right now, Carey's team just on paper has about an 8% chance. If they get forced here, it goes down to about a 3.
Again, small number 3.
Small number 3.
Yeah. That part I do know as well.
Just a heavy draw, looking to get the reds in the way. Trying to stay on the nose here.
That's pretty close to what they wanted.
Yeah, really good throw by Val.
얘는 거의 이렇게 해도 보이긴 하지. 이렇게 하면 보여? 보일 조금 보여요. 보여? 위에 날릴까?
Team Kim's strategy is pretty simple. this end right now, just make yellows go away. They're just looking at if they could, Team Einarson could bury around that corner guard. There is potential there. It's pretty far. Just going to want to get rid of this yellow, but also get rid of her shooter. They don't need any rocks in front of that other red.
And indeed, gets rid of the shooter and gets rid of the yellow. Carey might be able to create a pocket here. They're running out of time a little bit, but...
So similar in this path?
Yeah, she's got one behind the tee line. She's trying to get one more, so still trying to generate her deuce. I mean, there's a little bit of a gamble. I said just a little while ago, she does not want to be forced in this end, so got 3 rocks left here, trying to score at least 2.
So just trying to push this rock into the back 8 is Val Sweeting, create a pocket. This is curling, though.
Curl a bit. Good throw.
Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close to what they called. They've got 1 rock fully behind the tee line and 1 rock on the tee line, so will probably be an opportunity to generate a skips deuce. They'll need a miss out of Eunjung Kim, though.
It'll be interesting to see what Carey calls after this. So this is just a quarter rock peel, half rock peel for Team Kim. And then Carey's got the, thought process whether she tries to freeze on one of those reds or just plays a double and get out of dodge and keep hammering. Gotta be close.
Choi Kim trying to bring this one over. He has certainly got to get the yellow out of the house. Oh, geez. They got caught in between. I think they were trying to call an audible and get it through the hole. And instead they jam, and now we're looking like 2 here, Paul.
Yeah, Mike Green's not great, but out of the hand just by looking at their body language and so on, they felt they were wide from my vantage point.
Yeah, they called for a sweep at one point, or a carve at one point.
Yeah, so then the finish, so exactly why Carey called that shot on Val's is to hopefully get a miss. She did. Now she's got to make this one, so looking to hit and roll to our right on the screen right now, so there's not an easy double for Team Kim. So this roll is big. If this is a nose hit, that it becomes a force if Team Kim makes a double. So super important shot here for Carey and get that 2 points back on the board and get back into this game a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Team Kim miss yet, so opportunity for Carey Einarson to take advantage of that here.
Gotta be close. Gotta be good. Just gotta roll over to her left here. Great shot. Go, go, go.
Really good from Carey Einarson. Pretty much dead lines up those yellows, and I don't think there's really any way that Eunjung Kim cannot give up 2 here unless Carey misses.
Absolutely. So going to hit shot rock. Hope for missing Carey's last one, but job well done by Team Einarson. Really patient play during that end. Couple nice setup shots by Val to force some finer shots or more precise shots by Team Kim, and they got a miss.
So shot made for Eunjung Kim, and it will be an open hit for 2 for Carey Einarson.
this is baby steps for Team Einarson for the rest of the game. You know, first step taken, taking their 2 and getting their 2 here. And then, you know, looking for hopefully a steal coming up here in the third, or at least a force, and then get hammer back.
Final stone for Carrie Einarson. Needs a nose hit for 2.
Just clean.
They like it. Team likes it. 2 up on the board. Team Kim will have the hammer again in the third end right after this.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, where your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Yeah, exactly. Still 2 would be really nice. As long as we're asking for stuff. Science should be getting close, I think. Yeah.
So a really good second end from Team Carrie Einarson. Managed to force the miss out of Unjung Kim. And it's now a 2-point game, but Kim does have the hammer, so they would love to get those 2 points back.
Interesting what Einarson does with her second rock here, and see if she goes for double center guards. I think she will.
Yeah, we're seeing Sun Young Kim here come around this center guard. Maybe just anticipating that double center, Paul.
I think she would have done anyway. It seems to be the play. Placement here is good, important though, like getting these just, you know, top 4, top 8, not too deep.
Now, when you say this seems to be the play, is that just because they're up 2 with hammer? Because I do think we see some teams in this situation throw a corner guard. Like, what about the situation to you is dictating that you draw around the center
absolutely.
here?
I mean, it is exactly what they did in the first end, tied. But now that they're up 2, they're not looking to generate much offense. So putting that red in the middle so they can peel later, it's going to be super important to them. And Carrie's actually coming in on top of this one.
Indication from the sweepers is that it's a little heavy out of the hand here for Kristen Karwacki. They were looking to freeze, and this is T-line back 4, and
they
unfortunately,
try to call the late audible.
Yeah, I think it's going to click off here. That's not a great position for that stone. Unfortunate. That's the first miss we've seen out of Kristen so far. She's been a very strong add to this team. Obviously, the Brianne Harris situation not ideal for Brianne nor for the team, but Kristen stepping in, first All-Star at the Scotties last year amidst a lot of turmoil, and has been very solid to start this year as well.
It's funny, you know, you see these players that are 5th players for teams and so on, and don't get a chance to play sometimes. And Kristen comes in and just jumps up the leaderboard. So, you know, some of us knew her talent, but a lot of people at home didn't. And that was pretty fun to watch in the midst of, like you said, a lot of turmoil. So no one would have been surprised if she was 5th or 6th, but coming in and just winning that All-Star award was really cool for her.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, you know, and I know this having played front end for most of my career too. Sometimes it can get hard. It can be hard to get noticed as a front end player. You know, I think when you're coming up through the ranks, if you're a skip or a third and you've got a lot of talent, people tend to notice. But if you're a career lead or a career second, it can be sometimes tough to make your mark. And so really good opportunity for Kristen to do that. I mean, obviously not an ideal circumstance, but, had been playing on decent teams, teams ranked in the 20s and 30s on the World Curling Tour rankings. But, stepping into this Carrie Einarson team ranked number 4 in the world and doesn't look out of place at all.
Oh, she definitely showed up. And good for her. She'll have a spot on a top team for a while now.
Yeah, I would tend to agree, as that Yellowstone, the freeze there for Joanne Courtney, a little heavy again. So they're sitting 1 on the button, but this is, I think, a pretty good setup for Team Kim here.
Really good setup for Team Kim. So not a lot of rocks in play, no danger rocks. With Einarson's team opting to go with just a single center that was already dealt with now. Now it's just going to be a cat and mouse game of throw a guard, peel the guard, and then we'll figure out probably on Carrie's first or second if she's deal with those reds. But just those half shots and misses by both Kristen and Joe to start this end, just that pressure of a possible steal is almost gone right now.
So center guard up for Team Einarson, and the peel called here for Choi Kim.
Yeah, we're going to do that for a while here. So center guard up, center guard gone.
So called for the curl right out of the hand, but it's a pretty easily made shot there for Cho-hee. Good sweep from Kyung-ae. And as you suggested, Paul, the center guard going back up here for Val Sweeting. I'm curious, Paul, I think a lot of people know you as a coach and have known you as a coach for a long time, and you worked with the national program, working with a lot of different teams. And I don't know if I've heard you really talk about this much, but you've kind of been working with a specific team now for the last few years, and people talk a lot about player changes and team changes in the sport. But what was it like for you changing your coaching role to just focusing on one team as opposed to an entire program? Have you enjoyed that process? What does that kind of look like for you?
Yeah, it's been really fun. So when the boys approached me at the end of the Olympic cycle in 2022 to join them, it was something I had to think about. Beijing was supposed to be my 5th Olympics, although COVID got in the way of that, and so I was looking for something different to focus on, and wasn't sure what I wanted to do. But that was intriguing possibility to work with one team and completely different aspect to the game and filter on what we're working on. So you really get into the team as opposed to just randomly coming in and consulting with them. So you get to see the benefits of what you're doing, what you're working on a daily, weekly basis, and just the relationships you're able to create with that team and being, with them on a regular basis and at an event as opposed to just popping in and checking in.
So we're seeing here Kyung-ae Kim, they're bringing the play into the house. Is that just because the center guard's a little too high?
I guess. I mean, it's a gamble. She just made a great shot there.
Yeah, really good shot from Kyung-ae Kim. They lie 3.
I mean, this plays into, as much as it looks all red in there right now, it plays into Carrie a little bit. There's still risk. So that was a great shot. They're lying 3, and there's only 3 rocks to go for Team Einarson. However, being up 2 right now, them scoring 1 or 2 is all they need. Even a blank plays extremely well. So they would have had a fairly straightforward shot at some point anyway. They took it, I think, a little bit early, but now Einarson team needs to make 3 in a row to put some pressure on them. The Val looking for a half rock double here to come into that one in the 4-foot. Really wants to stick this one. Great throw.
That's a pretty good spot for that one. It's queued up on that red one on the button. Nice shot from Val Sweeting.
Really good. Now Team Kim just by 1 shot. And I think going too early on that one are ensuring they can score one here. Again, one's fine for them, but they can't give up a steal. And like John just pointed out, that red, yellow, red is just lined up on that side and currently open.
Yeah, I think they got to do something to change the angles here.
Harry's got that out-turn tap. He's also got the in-turn draw freeze tap on the other side, so some really good options. And now they're going to go peel the guard. So Coach Peter Glantz is probably sitting back there wanting to mark that one down, have a discussion. Best hair in coaching.
Yeah, he's got a good salad going on there. So what you're saying is, Paul, you don't favor this call.
Well, the peel is what she had. Like, the peel's a great call, but I didn't favor the call of going for it on the last shot.
Right.
So Val's got a little bit more lease on life here. Still needs to make 2 shots, but has way more options now than she had a couple rocks ago.
What else are you thinking?
Yeah, and then it's a force, right? I think that's...
Do we ever just loop one to here?
And then maybe hit that on the next one. Sure.
Time!
Okay, so an early timeout here in the third end. Reed Carruthers will be coming out here, and curling fans will know a Reed Carruthers timeout is typically a speedy affair. He'll come down and tell him the options.
We're going to listen in here to Reed if we can hear him, but
yeah, for sure.
He does a great job.
Very tough.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to do something now. Do we just play like tap weight?
Yeah.
Then what do we do?
Freeze
if
where?
we guard?
Where are we freezing?
Like you.
Like freeze this one?
Yeah. Freeze like 2/3.
Yeah. Let her just blast it.
My first thought was the guard, but I guess then they...
Guard, they rip, and then we're in the same
then
situation.
What do we do?
Same situation. How much can you see if the 5 can just play hit and roll on the next one? Not enough?
No, I think it's very hard. Probably only maybe half, but...
Do we just try jiggling them?
You could try, yeah, to... Give it to...
I'd rather just freeze it and let them blast.
I think so. If you freeze it, it's pretty good.
Okay, just letting it
like 3/4.
too slow.
Really good.
Yeah, if I end up where Joe's foot is, that's not terrible.
Okay.
Like then she hits and rolls away, and then maybe we just draw like, I don't know, here, and hope she doesn't make it.
What's your gut saying, Val?
I feel like we have to move it to gain any ground, but I mean, if you're frozen and they blast, that's
so
good.
if you move it, then you still want to be like 7/8 center side.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're playing like T-line weight just to move it like even 3-4 inches.
Yeah. I'm good with the freeze too. If we know
need
that
back
line
4
better.
if you want to get to back 4, back 8.
Yeah.
So you're moving
We just
this
don't
many
want 2.
rocks.
We don't want to move the 5 though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But it's the way Val's tapped. Like it.
Yeah. Do you like playing the out?
I think so.
Yeah, we
So
know
I feel like
it.
the
Are you
timeout kind
seeing
of
the freeze or
revealing,
the
Paul,
tap
this
theory?
isn't really an easy decision. There's a few options here for sure.
No, you can hear Team Einarson
I think as long as we don't move
Reader
this, anything
just they want to try to steal still. So their concern about guarding is they just peel, and like I said, they'll be back there. The freeze was an option, but if they don't, so the only reason they freeze if they knew Team Kim wanted to throw heat. So if they freeze at the top and they blast that yellow in the middle is not going anywhere. So it's sticking, and then Carrie would have a guard. But Team Kim's not going to just play the game to play the game. That's what Val was concerned, and I like Reed asking her, "What's your gut telling you?" You know, Val's skipped a bunch in her own right. Her concern is that Team Kim won't blast it.
Yeah.
So, you know, they want to get into hopefully shot rock here with the yellow right now. The risk here is that you set up some different angles for Team Kim that they can get rid of the yellows now. So, got to make this shot first.
They're going to try to, I think, move the stones a little bit and roll the shooter towards the center side.
Trying to go red, yellow, tap, hoping to freeze that one on there and shot.
This is losing weight. Joanne Courtney trying to drag it.
Yeah, I gotta get it past the yellow.
but just a little, I think, less weight than they wanted, and it will over curl.
Okay, yeah, need more ice.
Yeah, okay, so they did like the weight actually, but just curled more than they thought.
Yeah, weight was great, and just they needed probably 8 inches more ice there. Completely missed that rock.
이렇게 놔두면 어때? 아니면 11초로 얘 걷어내고 이쪽으로 빼내는 거.
너무 셀 것 같아. 13으로 톡 밀고 이거 세우는 거밖에 안 될 것 같아.
아니 차라리 그냥 여기 그냥 이렇게는.
근데 이거 탭이 있어야 돼.
탭이 있어서 탭하면 들어가야 돼. 앞대를 들어가?
거기나 탑 버튼까지?
Yeah, right there's probably the best option.
여기네.
If that yellow wasn't back there, it'd be an easy red, double.
우리도 할 수 있긴 해.
But they can't get too deep, or they're going to leave a.
위로 이거 해서 더블 받고 세워서 나이트 3개 되면은 난
세우기가 어렵잖아.
아니면은 별로? 이거 13이나 12 이렇게 해서 해놓고 얘가 여기만 가도 나쁘진 않긴 한데 근데 라인이 조금 어렵긴 하죠.
근데 그러면 또 여기 또 뒤로 오면
여기 풀릴 수도 있는데.
근데 살짝 맞고 여기까지 와버리면은 상대가 풀리자면 빼낼 수 있어. T 6? 풀려서. 아까 언니 거
조금
1번에.
넉넉하게.
So it looks like they're trying to come in right beside that yellow one, even perfectly frozen on that red.
안 나가는 거 아닌가?
Where Carrie's shot actually ended up, not going to help Carrie later on with this with these reds. It's actually helping Team Kim right
아니 조금
now.
더 잡았어.
그럼 1대로 가자. 1을 봐.
It's a tricky shot. You don't want to get this in the wrong spot and maybe leave a double on the reds.
1을 봐.
But if you make the freeze or freeze on top of your own, you could be looking good for a multiple. So first rock here for Eunjung Kim, third end.
가야 돼.
Precise draw here
진짜 가야 돼.
계속 가야죠.
will almost guarantee a score of 1 or 2.
네, 계속 가면 돼. 라인은 좋아.
This looks light. Sun Young and Cho Hee trying to drag it. Trying to drag it. Can they get it there? Can they get it there? I don't know if that's any good.
It's actually not bad. So then
No, you
Carrie's
could
got to,
play
hopefully, like I was saying, that
swans
one that she
like
just threw
this,
now,
she's
if
not
that yellow
caught
wasn't
over
back
that.
there, she's nosing this to like 2. She's got to be careful to jam. I think she has to play the red-yellow tap to freeze.
Yeah, I think it goes. But I think we can play this. The early inside and control.
Where does that 3 go?
We'll count them if we play the raise.
Normal to kill the 3?
Seeing weight to kill the 3. Okay.
Play firm?
Okay. Do you need this turn to kill the 3? Or do you think it
so,
goes?
Val. Nose kills it.
'Kay.
Or just a hair inside.
Okay.
I just know this time better than
Yep.
playing.
True. Yep. Okay. So hair low.
Hair low, yeah.
Okay.
So just running it straight back here, Paul?
Yeah, and trying to keep her shoot over here to our left, move the shooter over to the left. So it's crossed over at that red, so there's no great option. Yeah, so she's saying a hair low. She's throwing it firm so she can hit it just a hair low, but then sort of move over to the center line.
Oh, I like this.
This is right in Carrie's wheelhouse.
Last rock for Carrie Einarson.
Yep. Hard!
Trying to get something set up here. They've been hard out of the hand. This is really curling. And that will overroll, and that will leave an open hit for 2 here for Eunjung Kim.
Just not matching up the throws with the broom in the ice conditions right now. So Einarson's team, one of the best in the game, struggling a little bit of ice and surprising themselves, but also us watching, knowing the level of play that they normally bring.
Yeah, you could tell just the sweep call right out of the hand is probably indicating that Carrie didn't hit the broom the way she wanted to, and this is pretty straightforward here for Team Kim. A nose hit or slight roll inside, and you're putting 2 right back on the board. Final stone. Sunyoung Kim is on this right away. Trying to hold this. And that will be a perfect roll right into the button. And so the momentum gained by Carrie Einarson in the second end is lost here in the third. It's once again a 4-point lead for Team Kim.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts. It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits. Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Well, it was an unfortunate miss for Carrie Einarson on, well, really both of her last shots, but her last one in particular allowed for Eunjung Kim to make an open hit for two, and now we're back to not exactly where we started from, but where we were after the first end. And Paul, I can only imagine with now less ends to play, the percentages being down 4 are even worse than they were before, and they were not very good before.
No, they're down to a solid 6% chance of winning this game. Again, that, like you said, just getting that 2 points for the second end and having a pretty good setup there near the end. They had opportunities, and giving back the 2, and the math is just down 4 again. It's just a little deflating for them.
They do get an opening miss from Sunyoung Kim as that redstone slides into the back 12, but again, will be a bit of a climb here for Team Einarson. Probably at this point, you need to get 2 back here. You can't settle for 1.
You know what they need to do is just make 8 shots in a row and try to, you know, Einarson's looking to try to get into playoffs still. I'm not sure what their draw of the button percentage and numbers look like, but they just need to figure out this ice, figure out these rocks, and make 8 in a row and put some pressure on Team Kim. There's 1. Maybe count these.
Yeah.
Kristen
1 for 1.
1 for 1.
1 for 1. Yep.
And again, even you looking back to last time, her miss on her second one was a little heavy, and that brought play into the forefoot almost instantly.
So there's the draw that Sunyoung was looking for on her first one. Bites the forefoot, and we're going to see a double corner now.
Yeah, so options here going the opposite corner. She could also do the same side corner, just a little higher. A couple different plays here, but you know what works for you. And then Team Kim's going to have an option. They can't touch these guards yet, so then they need to decide what they do with their third rock.
Well, they can touch the guards legally. They can't peel them, but they can't
remove them.
Yeah, they can't remove them. They could bump them into the house if they were so inclined. I don't imagine they will. If they were going to do that, they would have done it on the first one. You don't do it now, but looks like they're going with the old choke here, Paul. Choking off this one corner guard.
Yeah, it's a good play. Just draw weight in the top of the house, sort of get in the way of any draw coming around that corner guard. Forces Carrie, if she wants to come around that corner, to hit and roll or just tap back. Great throw, great shot.
Yeah, pretty much the perfect spot for that one. Does block off that corner guard right in the top 12. Still going to get the freeze out of Team Einarson here.
15-ish.
This will be third down, so.
Okay, 15. Yeah.
You're hearing them saying it's going to be third down, so a fresher piece of ice to start this end. But the reality, after a few rocks and a little bit of sweeping, these passes do get faster.
Top 8.
Just that reminder to not throw all by yourself, but give it to the sweepers, and that's exactly what Joe did here. Really nice shot by Joe.
Yeah, right on the corner, small tap. And I think we're going to see the peel train start its engine here.
Yeah, just getting rid of one of these guards. Took the easier one to make sure it doesn't worry about stuff in the house. Trying to roll across the top of that red one.
Uh-oh.
Not what she's trying to do, but still up 4. You've got a little room for error.
Yeah. I think you can throw similar speed.
You didn't do much with that. Correct. Yeah, I like the same.
Herring here going to use her other corner guard. That's why that play works well, having both.
It's good. Top 8, top 4.
So again, the winner of this game will finish with a 3-1 record. Will move on to the playoffs guaranteed. The loser will drop to 2-2, and as Paul suggested, we'll have to rely on their last stone draw, their cumulative last stone draw, to see if they can find their way either into the playoffs or into a tiebreaker based on that. Of course, at 2-2, you can be eliminated as well. The rules at the Slams now only allow for one tiebreaker game, so depending on how the math works out, you can be on the outside looking in with a 2-2 record.
Yeah, we talked about that draw of the button to start the game. It's about a 20% swing. Val Sweeting was drawing the button today. I think she just got into the full 4-foot. So that distance, even today they lost the hammer, but that added distance, I haven't seen the girls' spreadsheet, but that could hurt them. So that 2-2 record is a really tricky one. They're actually taking 6 draws. I think they're throwing out the worst. So
that's correct, yes.
First 2 games, we had 2 players throwing for hammer, but they kept those, and then a single player the last 2 games. So 6 draws, best 5.
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
It is truly a game within the game these days.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I know you know, as a coach, Paul, it's something that is this run back attempted here, but just missed for Kyung-Hae Kim. Rolls to a corner, too, so that's probably a positive result for Carrie Einarson. But, you know, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, she's not going to hate that. Like, trying the run back, just when you miss it, the problem is you left another guard. Carrie needs guards. She needs rocks in play. Straight peel there. You can imagine if that red wasn't there. Carrie's still lying, hitting to lie 3. But then Kim would have the inside of that one to even try to rip a triple. So those rocks might come back and hurt them later on here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know, you're a coach. I know I've heard now, it's part of team practice is practicing that last stone draw and that draw to the button because it's become so important.
Yeah, honestly, with the boys, anytime we get together for team training camps, practice, and so on, fresh sheet of ice, we instantly go into what's the next event, what's the draw for hammer setup, because everyone's a little bit different between the slams and prior stuff.
Really good sweep.
Nice shot from Val Sweeting. And Team Einarson, just like that, lying 3.
So again, look at the play now. Take that red out of your mind that's up top as a guard. And if that wasn't there, there's an easy double, if not triple, for Team Kim. So instead, they're playing a run back. Oh, just because I said that, she's probably going to make the run triple. But again, make the easy shots. You're up 4. You've created an advantage for yourself. You can give up 1 or 2 here. You can't give up 3.
So a crucial shot here for Kyung-Hae Kim might be their only chance to make a double and eliminate the threat of a 3. She doesn't get rid of 3 of them or even 2 of them, unfortunately. That yellow one hit the bumper for sure.
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, did keep 2 yellows in the house and left a center guard. So this is turning out pretty well here for Team Einarson. We haven't really seen Team Kim blink too much, but it's a couple half shots in a row and things looking good here for Carey.
Yeah, those guards, just again, leaving those guards around are the tricky ones. So Carey's trying to use this new red guard to her advantage again.
10-2.
Does not want to nose this. Needs to get a little roll to our left. Lot roll would be great. What a shot.
Very nice there from Val Sweeting, and Team Einarson actually lying 2 here and not 3. It looks like that red Kim Stone is out counting the yellow in the 12-foot. So that's at least a bit of a break for Team Kim, who I'd be very scared of doing this.
완전 이렇게 얇게 맞으면 되긴 한. 끝까지 보여? 네, 딱 끝까지. 위로.
I think from the hack, she's probably only got half of a rock, maybe it's a little less than that. The concern there is if you ever come out tight and flip that guard, your guard, the opportunity for 3-4 gets into play for Carey here. So they might have to go a little bit more offensive here than they wanted to, just because of a couple of questionable calls earlier on in the end.
난 보이는 만큼 필로 이거 해보고 안 하면은 무조건 나와. 위험해. 보이는 만큼 맞으면 무조건 이렇게 맞아야 그냥. 그러니까 얇게 때려야 되지. 완전 얇아야 되는데 그러면?
I don't watch these girls play very much, but she's, the one option for her right now is just to run that center guard back and get rid of 1 or 2 yellows. It's tricky though because of the stuff that's back there.
근데 힘이 그만큼 될까? 이러면서 결국에는
The shot they might just be forced to do is just draw around. They only have 2 red rocks left.
So timeout called here for Team Kim.
Even get a hold of Peter Gallant here and hear what the call was.
Right, he did tell us that we could text him on the bench during the game if we wanted. Peter Gallant, kind of it's a sort of a 2-headed coaching monster here. He gives direction to the Korean coach, and then he comes out and communicates it in their language.
이거 그냥 필? 상대하는 거 들어갈 것 같은데 들어가겠죠.
I don't see him with his cell phone in his hand, so I don't think we'll get any input there. But yeah, really cool opportunity there for Peter. He's been working with his team for a while, and the language barrier's a big one there. So having the Korean coach with him to help explain that, but having the experience of someone like Peter, really patient, humorous guy that knows the game inside and out, and adds a ton of value to this team.
인턴? 턴도 괜찮고 인턴도 괜찮고 슈터 살리는 걸로 어디 가나요? 일단 더블 보고 일단 이거 해보면 볼 거죠. 일단 저거 세우는 거 먼저 보고 세우는 거? 9초 그러면? 9초?
So they're looking at that run back.
시간이야 9초? 세우는 거?
Yeah, I just kind of felt, Paul, and I don't know if you agree, but anything across the face of that yellow, you run the risk of jamming your red at the back and maybe even leaving Einarson lying 3 and throwing.
Yeah, she's playing the intern, so anything nose or high side is pretty good. If you're getting too tricky with it and trying that double on the yellows, maybe even the triple, then you're risking jamming at the back. Just running it back and sticking it there is a really good shot for Team Kim right now.
So they need to stop the bleeding a little bit here. It's been a few misses in a row for Team Kim. We'll see if their skipper can get them out of a jam here. This sounds close. How about that? What a shot from Eunjung Kim.
I mean, if you're going to make it that good, I'm not sure why we took so long to call it.
Yeah, exactly, eh?
That's great. Honestly, great throw and got them out of a little bit of trouble there.
Yeah, let's take another look on the replay here. Just absolutely perfect. right on, even got a little roll behind the rock she just threw, and that's, I think, effectively gonna remove those 2 yellows for Einarson from counting.
Yeah, so Kim lying shot now behind her own guard. The nice thing about being up 4 and leaving guards of your own colors, you get to run them back.
Yeah.
So full offense now for Team Kim, and Carrie just doing the math and realizing that she's got to create a skip's deuce here now. So we say that her 2 rocks have to be counters. So she's looking for an in-turn draw here around that red rock in the top 4 foot to be shot, wanting a miss out of Team Kim, and then hopefully having a second draw for her second point.
So first stone for Carrie Einarson here.
Line's good. Heavy. Top 4. Can you let's go? Team. Are we team? Team. Yep. Yep.
Sounds like they were trying to freeze on that top red maybe, but they thought it was a little heavy. So now they're calling an audible.
Low. T-line. Back 4.
Has to sit.
Sit, baby is right.
That's unfortunately going to slide a little too far, and red is still second shot here. And I think if Kim can make a freeze, it might be tough for Carrie to score.
Yeah, slipping behind that T line was just a mistake here. Again, you got to make this shot though, or Carrie's got that. If you ever chop off the top red one, Kim can be short here even. You know, so if Carrie's back button there and Kim's just full 4 foot, it would be really hard for Carrie to score here too. Perfect freeze is the call, but she'll have some options. Got to make sure she doesn't come up short there to make an easy red double too. So again, precise draw, even up 4 points.
So final stone for Eunjung Kim. Had an absolute stunner on her first one. We'll see if she can follow it up here with a freeze.
Sweeping hard right out of the hand.
Yeah, Cho-hee and Sun Young on it right out of the hand.
Line is looking great.
They dragged one in the third end. Can they drag another one here? Sun Young got to get it by that top red. They do, and will it sit there? Oh my goodness, what a sweep from Sun Young Kim and Cho-hee Kim. And Carrie Einarson finding herself in a heap of trouble here.
Heap of trouble is right. We might actually call that game point. That was a great throw, great sweep the entire way. Carrie might be forced to play the run back to try to score 2 on her back yellows. Exactly what she has to play here.
Yeah, just a really great sweep. We know how good these Korean sweepers are. They train so hard. They just seem to have a limitless gas tank too. You know, that's 2 huge sweeps, 2 ends in a row, and never let up did Sun Young Kim. She was on the inside for both of them, and yeah, just a phenomenal job there. And really a great pair of shots from Eunjung Kim too.
Oh,
you see the hard shot, and then, you know, like, I mean hard as in heavy, and then you see the draw right after, not always easy to calibrate. And so yeah, what a pair from the skip from Gun-young, and this will be a real test for the skip from Gimli, Carrie Einarson, trying a run back double and see what happens.
Needs to get slightly low on this top rock and then precisely remove both those reds in the house. Close.
And unfortunately, we'll just drive it by the pile in the house, and it will be a steal of 2 for Eunjung Kim. They will take an 8-2 lead. Really good try from Carrie Einarson, but it does not come off. We'll head into the 4th end break. We'll see you back here in 3 minutes.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on,
every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits,
seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
이쪽은 괜찮아. 근데 일로 갈 때가 좀 심한 것 같아. 일로 올 때는 좀 막. 일단 1반인데 2도 딱 할 수 있을 것 같긴 해. 1에서 2? 네, 1에서 5 하면 될 것 같아. 아, 그래서 얘기해줄게. 내가 준비했으니까 해야 되겠지? 줬어. 웨이트 보고. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome back inside the Silent Ice Center here in Nisku, Alberta for Home Team Live and the Grand Slam of Curling's continuing coverage of the Co-op Canadian Open. John Cullen alongside Paul Webster here for this final round-robin draw for Team Einarson and Team Kim. And Paul, it has been pretty much one-way traffic here. Team Kim has looked fantastic from the jump, scoring 4 in the first end, a big steal of 2 in the fourth, and they now lead 8-2.
Yeah, they came out with their A game today in Einarson, so it's definitely lopsided. Last end, there's a few glimmers of hope, and then just a couple misses. A couple half shots by Team Einarson, but then 2 amazing skip shots by Team to save the end. Really great. That was a skip steal of 2 for Team Kim. They've got to thank their skip for that one, because it looked like a possible 2 or 3 for Einarson, a few shots into the end.
Yeah, it'd be funny to go back and listen to our commentary, because it was not long before that where we were kind of saying, oh, geez, this is kind of setting up for a potential 3 for Team Einarson, but yeah, Team Kim calls the timeout, and then, yeah, like you said, made 2 amazing shots.
I think Peter's still going to go back to that end and talk them through it, because you know what, you're not, when you're up 4, you're not looking for a run back and then a perfect freeze for your last 2 skip shots. And they made a lot of shots that end in the first 6. So that ability to, just analyze those opportunities, just because you stole 2, doesn't mean that was a perfect strategy end.
Yeah, always something to be learned out here, and unfortunately for Sun Young Kim, we've seen some great work on the sweeping brush, but unfortunately misses that tick. They were trying to tick that corner guard into the house, and so a second corner guard will go up here for Kristen Karwacki. And you were saying, Paul, we checked the draw scores here. You kind of were wondering if Einarson had a really good draw, if maybe they would have shook after that 4th end, and maybe we're getting some insight into why they didn't shake, because their draw-off score is, their shootout total is not very good. It's not looking great for a potential qualification, especially with Team Sturmey, who is ahead of them in draw percentage, currently beating Chelsea Carey 8-0. So Team Sturmey is going to go to 2-2. They have a better draw percentage than Team Einarson. And we'll see if Xenia Schwaller can pull themselves to 2-2. They're currently losing to Stefania Constantini 3-1. But they also have a better draw than Einarson. So does Team Gim. So does Team Yoshimura. So there's, a potential of a missed playoffs with a 2-2 record here for Carey Einarson.
Yeah.
They're going to peel. Do we get one around the R's first?
I heard them say one of those mornings, I believe they were trying to draw around that corner guard, and then they tick to a center.
They peel, then we have to go here, and then they'll probably do that.
Yeah, so put ours deeper so they don't have it.
Sure.
Back 8, back 4. I'm just going to put ours in a spot where they won't have that.
Yeah, I haven't been updating you on those scores from the other sheets, but it is 8-0 Selena Sturmey, the home team here, and Nisku leading Team Chelsea Carey. So that would bring Sturmey to 2-2. That would also drop Carey to 2-2, and Team Carey has a great draw percentage as well. So really the odds stacking up against Team Einarson here. Beside them, Stefania Constantini leading Xenia Schwaller 3-1. Schwaller has the hammer. They're playing 5. And it's an all-Japanese matchup on the sheet beside our feature. It's Momoha Tabata against Sayaka Yoshimura. It's Yoshimura leading that one 4-2. Yoshimura could get themselves to 2-2 with a win, but their draw percentage, or their draw score rather, not super good, so they may not qualify with a win there. Tabata at 0-3 is already eliminated. So we'll keep an eye on all those games for you. Of course, they're all streaming on Home Team Live. And we also have the full house option right now too, where you can have our game in a large box and the other 3 games streaming below it.
Team Kim just getting rid of rocks now, trying to peel that guard. Successfully did that.
Just go pull it.
They can give 2, they can give 3 actually here and be running away with this game.
Yeah, up 3 with Hammer playing 6.
What are you seeing through here?
Still a pretty good spot to be.
That's
amazing, yeah.
I like that. I like 14-5.
Yeah, it's, I don't know if you can even have a percentage calculator for 6 down with 4 ends to play. It's, I would imagine we're into the decimal points.
It is currently 0. Yeah, and like we were saying, the draw percentage is what. So we were wondering if Carey was 2-2 with a great draw numbers, great in terms of ranking, they probably would have shook hands after 4 and just got ready for the playoffs. But their current number, again, not knowing where if this includes the last one, is they're almost ranked last in the field. Maybe out of 16 teams, I think they might be 13th or 14th.
Yeah.
Looking quickly, so they need to win this game to stay at 3-1.
They're currently 15th, Paul.
Yeah, currently 15th. So that's huge. So they have to win this game.
There too, so. Yeah, I think it had to be more in all with it.
10초반! 초반! 저희 좋아! 저희 와!
So that draw last time trying to come around light still leaves a guard for Team Einarson. That's going to be fine, but leaves Team Kim lying 2 in the house. So 3 guards in play, 2 in the house. Still some rocks to play with for Team Einarson. And but again, we need to make 4 perfect shots here to get 2 on the board and only be within 4 points.
Yeah, trying to generate any positive momentum here is Team Einarson.
Yep.
This is coming down. Karwacki and Courtney leaning on it here. And unfortunately, we have seen that on this ice, Paul. If you're a little bit light, it over curls, and then it becomes even more light because it's curling more, and that one just doesn't quite get there for Val Sweeting.
Good result still. Like, she's trying to get to the face of that to make a play on that red easier later on. But being a second shot, good shot, not a perfect one, but great sweep by Tristan and Joanne. Yeah, the release, we talk about that ability to be there with weight, but just that ability also with your release and make sure it's not soft. So you'll hear on the telecast and stuff, we're talking about break points. So when a rock's supposed to start curling, and these players manipulate that with how the rock comes out of their hands, so it doesn't curl early. So sometimes they release it perfectly from a textbook, but an ice like this and rocks like this, that means they'll just start curling super early. Team Kim looking to draw their way out of trouble here.
comes up a little short. You don't usually see that type of call with a 6-point lead.
You don't.
Okay.
But
So
again, Carey's
slide a
team,
little
that you know,
slower.
that yellow on the far side is not going to be in play for any run back right now. The yellow center now is not going to be in play by where Team Kim's are. So even if she makes this one, you might actually see Team Kim guard on their first skip rock.
So we have our first final out here this morning. Selena Sturmey winning over Chelsea Carey. So that will improve Selena Sturmey to a 2-2 record and drop Carey to 2-2. As we said, Team Carey has one of the best draw-offs from the field. We don't know if this includes this morning's shootout, but they're currently third best in the draw-off, so likely will find themselves at minimum in a tiebreaker even with that loss. And Selena Sturmey also has quite a strong draw-off at 2-2. They're currently sitting in 5th, so probably a likely at least tiebreaker spot, if not a playoff spot for those two teams, but we'll pay attention to it as the day rolls on here.
Just watching this replay, I'm really surprised they didn't try to carve that sort of, you know, hog line in before the hog line. They had a great judge right out of the hand knowing it was all there, but there's a lot of hope in the last 30, 35 feet of that rock that was just going to finish. And having someone like Joe on that side, I would have tried to carve that and get it to the face. Instead, they chapped off, leaving a fairly routine nose hit. And if Kim can get to the inside of this one, and Einarson team might shake right now.
5에서 6까지. 5반 6.
So potential to lock things up here for Eunjung Kim if she can get an inside roll here.
Trying to get to the inside here. Just knows. It's a good. Carey might have to try the triple here and might get her 2 this way.
I don't see a 3 unless you hit and rolled a bit and then planted that run, but that's a little.
You just gotta make that.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a.
Or you make the double and you know, get your rock frozen on that red one. And because it's so skinny here, she needs to throw a little bit of weight, so I'm not sure if there's an opportunity to freeze your rock on the side. But Carey makes these triples for fun. What she's saying, like they're saying, I don't see an opportunity for 3.
And they kind of need to score 3, and as we said earlier, even then, that doesn't create a great situation for them.
She guards, and then it's only a deuce anyway.
Yeah.
This is an interesting situation over on the Xenia Schwaller-Stefania Constantini sheet. I'm only guessing as to what's happening here, but I think what happened was Xenia Schwaller was throwing a shot for 3, coming around a corner guard, and Selena Goffner touched the corner guard with her broom. And it looks like they're now watching the stream to see if that actually affected. As Carey makes this triple. What a shot. Carey Einarson lying 2, but I think they're watching the stream to see if her moving the corner guard actually affected the path of the traveling stone. So we have all 8 curlers, head official Pierre Charette, the coaches, all gathered around a small monitor trying to figure out if the 3 that Xenia Schwaller potentially scored is good.
In the meantime, Carey Einarson with a routine triple.
Yeah, routine triple.
Great throw, great call by Val. So they will get their 2 here if Kim doesn't hit and roll into the middle. So she's got nothing to lose here, trying to roll in and maybe get a handshake, but nose hit here, and then it's just a deuce. We'll play a couple more ends. Trying to carve this to get any roll possible.
And they do get a little bit of a roll, but not enough.
That's safe. That's all she needed to do.
Yes, as Brent Lang told me so many times this week, when you're throwing a takeout, the most important thing to do is to take it out. And indeed, they did that here. So it will be an open hit for 2 for Carey Einarson. Will be tough for her to come back, but she'll have at least a a whisker of a chance. A wisp of hope. Final stone, Carrie Einarson.
10-5. How much? 10-5. Which good? Girl! Clean. Clean. Yep. 10-4.
And no trouble there for Carrie Einarson. So 2 will go up on the board. We will play another. Don't go anywhere.
Sorry, I didn't know you said it first.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casually.
I should be okay.
I think so, yeah.
Tight first or high? Tight. Okay.
So a well-played end for Carrie Einarson. Unfortunately, they probably needed to score at least one more point than they did, but nevertheless, Paul, a well-played end. They put 2 on the board, and it's now 8-4 for Team Kim.
Yeah, quick math. They just needed steal 2, steal 2, steal 2, and they win. Win by 2. So they just, again, Einarson's team just not as precise as they want to be. Not getting 8 shots in a row, even a few half shots tossed in there. That's not to say a team of this caliber, if just focusing on that one shot at a time, if they can just throw 8 in a row and put some pressure, getting a steal of 1 or 2 here is not out of reach. And they just got to steal the next 3 ends to give them a chance to hopefully tie or win by 1. And if not any of those ends, you're going to risk a lot of points giving up. So, with that risk comes handshakes, but they've got a lot of rocks in play and hopefully create some pressure on Team Kim.
So again, with the no-tick rule in place, there's no chance for Team Kim to do much about that Kristen Karwacki center guard that's touching the center line, so they will bring their red stone around.
웨이트도 잘 가. 이때까지 역대급으로 말보다 갔는데 수치가 겁나 웃겨.
I think it's over. I think we're close.
Yeah, they're actually going double centers this time, which I like. Kristen's first guard could have been a little bit deeper. So when you're placing these ones, that first draw is super important because they want these as far away from each other. Because in a couple rocks here, Team Kim's going to be trying to double peel on those. And those 2, as you see in the shot right now, the angles for the out turn are just pretty juicy right now to get both.
We'll see what Team Kim decides to do here. They've already got 1 in the house. Would you ever see them throw it through here, Paul, up 4?
Yeah, absolutely, I would. You don't need rocks in play. Their first lead rock is in a pretty good position.
Seems like that's what they're debating, whether they want to draw or throw it through. I think Cho Hee Kim was kind of indicating she might have preferred the throw through here, but
the leads always do.
Yeah, well,
I love
exactly,
those.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Gosh, I think they ended up on that.
아까 내 거는 좀 세긴 했어. 1.
Oh, they're actually going to try a tick.
웨이트면 라인 정락. 8. 라인 많아. 경혜. 7, 8. 경혜. 8.
Trying to tick that center guard the last one.
걸리다가 라인 경혜가 가야 돼. 아니야, 경혜야. 에이씨. 이게 많이 떨어지긴 많이 떨어졌나 보다. 네. 세긴 세. 4초.
Yeah, so they're going the tick on the top one. Because they missed that one, they actually tick the back one off the center line. It instantly goes back. So the tick rule now that's in place, you can't remove that rock from the center line.
Top 8.
So miss, but still those yellow rocks are in not bad position for Team Kim on their next one for a possible double peel attempt. Team Einarson now looking to come in, freezing that top one.
Wicked's good. Here's Kim down a little bit.
Remember, Team Kim has hammer here, so a single point anywhere for Team Kim is pretty much handshakes. Team Einarson really looking to get some rocks in play. This next peel attempt by Team Kim will pretty much dictate this end.
Yeah, as you say, Paul, you at some point you got 3 ends left. You have to steal 2 twice. You know, you can steal 2, steal 2, steal 1. So if you steal 1 in this end, the game is not dead for you, but certainly at some point you have to make a steal of 2. We'll see what Einarson can do to get things moving in that direction. Just misses the double peel, does Cho-E Kim.
Yeah, so still opportunity for Team Einarson. That shot had it been made, it would have pretty much sealed the deal in this end. But missed opportunity for Team Kim, but possibility here now for Team Einarson. One shot by Joe earlier. Need this other one to be perfect here.
Easy, early. Clean. Easy. Where? To it. Line better.
You get around this center guard, but also freeze to that yellow.
Little short of it. Gotta go. 15 time, right to it. Just swept it different. Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
So a little shorter than they would have wanted, but certainly not in a bad spot there.
No, not bad at all. Really good management. They said they swept it. They thought they're a little more out of the hand, actually, and just like Val saying, swept it differently, so it came down a little bit. Again, good miss, if you want to call it that. Chapping off that yellow one like we saw last end would have been a bad miss. So straight peel here for Team Kim. They don't need to be running anything back. They're just going to get rid of this and make Team Einarson do some work. And that is a miss.
I think they were chasing the run back there, Paul.
Well, my game's just not as good as theirs, so yeah, I guess they were. Sorry. So a half miss. So they leave a corner guard, which isn't bad, but you know, if they have to draw the button at some point later on, that red rock could get in the way.
So we do have a resolution finally in the Team Schwaller, Team Constantini game. Compromise, I guess, reached it. It was a shot for 3 for Xenia Schwaller. They decided to discount 1 of those 3 points. So it is a score of 2 for Xenia Schwaller. That game tied 3-3 heading into 6. Constantini with the hammer. That's, I think, you know, Paul, you and I have been around the game a long time. That's one of the longest discussions I've ever seen about a rule with an official there. That was bordering on 10 minutes.
Yeah, and sometimes when you have too many people in play and the possibility of video, I actually like when the players just work it out in themselves without coaches, without fifth players, without officials. I would say almost 100% of the time when we follow that sort of spirit of the game, people's honesty and ability to say this is what I thought was going to happen, we usually come to a pretty reasonable agreement. It doesn't have to take 10-15 minutes. So Team Einarson placing the guard back, over curled a bit. Team Kim's getting a little intrigued by playing these, getting a play on these yellows. Again, up 4, I might just be inclined to get rid of any guards.
Yeah, especially when you're...
Every time I say that, they make an amazing shot.
Exactly.
So, looking to hit on that top one. I'm not sure if she's wanting to play or she's just trying to hit and roll, but we'll see what she's... straight peel's fine. But again, now that guard's still there. Carrie's really enjoying the fact that yellow guard's still in play.
Freeze for now. Freeze, or do you want to move it?
You could tap it to line it up. Just play like back 4.
I think we gotta get him on the button. Okay, back back 4. Yeah.
I love Val's gut. She's pretty, skipped a bunch herself, but, she's won a bunch of Scotties now at 3rd and thinking forward a few shots. I love this tap right now. A little risky because he might set up a double in yellows, but you've got to create some offense. Red is currently shot rock.
Yeah, as you said earlier, Paul, any score for Team Kim and it's game over, whether they shake hands or not. So you have to find a way to manufacture a steal here if you're Team Einarson.
Nice.
Great shot.
And how about that?
Really nice. 13-7.
The carve killed a bit of the weight care.
It did?
Yeah, so really good line. Like, it looks like, again, when you look at the overhead right now or the screen, it's nose, but because they can only hit on the left side, that yellow is still going to touch that red at the back. How are we feeling about the center guard right now?
Yeah, I'd be feeling like I would like to peel it. That's what I would be feeling.
When in doubt, take out.
Yes, indeed. And a great shot by Val. Paul, you and I have been in a lot of these situations where when you're losing like this and you're very likely to lose the game, it can be really hard to dial in on those precise shots and really bear down. And that's a really impressive shot by Val. Not as easy as she made it look there.
Val's a killer. And even the passion, I love in Carrie's voice. He got a good one here. They want to win this game. They're not giving up, and I love hearing that energy.
So the straight peel is indeed made for Kyung-Ae Kim and even moves that red corner guard a little bit, which may help them later if they need to draw. Unlikely that they will be, but,
Either that or just straight.
Yeah, I think we have to be like...
Let's see Reed Crothers come out here.
Because like the 2's coming through this line, right?
Yeah. Wow, look at
so we gotta get your
guy,
shooter.
I felt it.
Like, I think if we're frozen here, she can smoke them all.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Reed says here.
Do you ever like tapping this to here and like staggering that angle? Well, if I go here though, she smokes them, they all go.
Yeah, we gotta get one, like, you'd have to be here.
Okay.
Do we want to do anything with this right now? Don't have to?
Do we ever do this?
Like, even if you're into this spot, it's pretty good.
If we do this. This?
Yeah, we just don't have any in the 4-foot.
Yeah, she might be able to slam, yeah.
I like getting one in this area.
Yeah, I like that too.
I'm good with either side you're seeing, Carrie, like either shot.
Yeah. Well, if we ever hang here, that's not terrible.
So, I was thinking you play the out turn, because if you play the out turn on the line and you end up...
If I'm ever here.
Say you end up here light, but the yellow's right next to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
What are we doing here? Like it's a 14-5?
Ideally, we're
14-5, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Like your guards are on
I think right bigger with...
Yeah.
If we're getting there, we're better to do this.
Yep.
Okay, try to give you a good weight call.
Should be able to hold it here a little bit.
So a freeze on the shot stone here, Paul? Is that the call?
Yeah, and what they're worried about if they get too good and sort of perfectly freeze and touch the center line, that Team Kim then would be able to throw an intern eater down that and then get all the yellows moving. So the freeze might be best even just half on this red one open and see if you get a mistake. There's a little risk there, but you need to get a miss out of Team Kim in the next one to try to lie 2 or 3 on Val's blast. So out-turn freeze attempt here. I'm going to be really intrigued if they, just freeze half, 3/4 of the rock so that yellow plays in there. I'd love to see Team Kim make a play on this one.
So it's the first rock here for Carrie Einarson, 6th end. Trying to claw her way back into this game down 4.
Weight seems great, line seems great.
Wow, that's real good.
It's real good, but what you're going to see right now is what they're worried about. They got to hit it perfectly, but I think she get everything moving here.
Yeah, take a look at the replay here. Very well managed by Courtney and Karwacki.
Beautiful throw, beautiful sweep. Really patient line call by Val, too.
But yeah, like you said, Paul, just right at the end here, just that little separation between the yellow and the red. As you suggest, you might be able to get them all going here. And we know Eunjung Kim can throw the bullet if she needs to.
You can throw the bullet. You can't hit this much on the right side, though. They're still going to drag a bit.
So kind of a controlled, firm weight here from Eunjung Kim, trying to get rid of some Einarson stones here. They're on it right out of the hand. And they will get rid of one yellow and will move all of them out of the forefoot. But that's a pretty good result for Carrie Einarson, especially with the way those are staggered.
It's a great result for Team Einarson. With this ability to, who knew she's going to be lying 3 after her last rock?
I think if we steal one, but we need a couple.
Okay.
Like this is our best.
For a draw. I mean, she's throwing draws, but
yeah, it's fudging a little, so might get a mistake.
Maybe it over curls. That's
So in a regular steal situation, Carrie Einarson is coming straight back on that out-turn draw right to the button. The problem with what she's saying is she needs to create a situation where she can steal 2 or 3. So the only way she's going to do that is if she puts a rock right where she's pointing right now, where Val's broom is, and Team Kim has to play ball. They have to go in-turn draw and then miss it.
Speed should be fine.
The problem with that is I think Team Kim's just going to hit one of these yellows and maybe double. But Carrie's got to do her part and set up the option, and Team Kim's got to take the bait, play the in-turn draw, and more importantly for Team Einarson, Team Kim's got to miss that in-turn draw really badly.
Well, we have seen it. It's not out of the realm of possibility. There are some tricky draw paths on all of these sheets. We saw Kevin Cooey drawing against 3 earlier this week against Brad Guju, and he put it through the house. And then just yesterday in that game we were talking about Team Laws and Team Gim, same situation. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but this sounds way heavier than they wanted.
I don't know.
Try? We're past that. Back forward here.
Curl, Eric, go, so she doesn't have a hit with the catch.
That's about
good judge.
Almost 6 feet deeper than Carrie Einarson wanted it, 8 feet deeper than she wanted it, Paul.
Yeah. I mean, she's making her draw. I mean, there is that hole's not small. So Carrie, one of the best skips in the world, came up 6 feet heavy on her draw. If Team Kim can do the same on theirs, and then there's a steal of 2, maybe even 3 for Team Einarson. That's 2 rocks down that path now for Carrie. Not much sweeping on that one. The first one had a lot of sweeping, so this could be a little faster than they expect.
Are you surprised she's not hitting here, Paul? You could just hit this one on the right, roll in. Maybe you give up a steal of 1. That's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't watch this team play, so I'm not sure what her comfort level is. She's been drawing well, like Joanne said just a few seconds ago. But sometimes just making the easy shot. Their hit and rolls are pretty routine, and then if you miss, you just give up a steal of 1.
So they are indicating it's a little heavier than they wanted, and like you said, Paul, there is a hole there. Nothing at all yet from Sun Young and Cho Hee.
Fine.
They're on it now. Yeah, the way it's curling, it's probably on the backing. So maybe a bit of a risky call, but it pays off. Draw right to the lid for Team Kim. That will be a 9-4 lead, and we are going to see handshakes. I wasn't sure. This is maybe Einarson's last life here, but 5-point lead, too much to surmount. So Team Kim will move to 3-1, and they will make the playoffs here at the Co-op Canadian Open. For Carrie Einarson, they're probably going to need a lot to break right to make their 2-2 count. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We will be back in just under 2 hours' time at 12 p.m. local. That's 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. You won't want to miss it. For Paul Webster and everyone here at Home Team Live, I'm John Cullen. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.